room watching us right now, if you could just let us know to make sure that you hear us, which I'm going to turn up my phone. Oh, I hear sound on the countdown. That's very nice. Once again, let's start from the top. I'm Aaron Phillips, Rick Upchurch, George the G-Man Nicholas, and we are here taking it all in. And we're back with round two, take two. We appreciate, Chief, as always, thank you for letting us know what's going on in the world. Yeah. When you guys are not able to hear us, for whatever the reason, we were talking about how we all sleep in bed. I'll just leave it at that. And who gets up on what side of the bed and who gets up on the wrong side. So we'll just leave it at that. And I don't know if it's worth going back into that or not. But nonetheless, we are back and we are here to talk about a few things. A lot of things going on. First of all, our phone number. If somebody would dare to give us a try to make sure that our phone system is actually working. Please. We put some quarters in the slot before the show started.
Even if it's the IRS.
Even then we can hang up on it.
Right.
702-992-3207. It's up there on the screen. By the way, if you happen to be listening to us on the Worldwide Digital Broadcasting TV phone app, at least for Androids, I don't know if the one for the Apple product is up yet. I'm still waiting for confirmation from our producer. At least it is working. We don't know. But if you have an Android, it is working. So you can listen to us live there as well. 702-992-3207. Download it and get ready to use it. Listen, guys, we have a lot to talk about, a lot going on. If folks are watching the promo post that I put up, we have a lot of things we want to cover. By the way, I have one thing here on the desk that we didn't talk about in the chat room, but the Golden Globes were on the other night. Yeah. We can talk about that as well. Yeah. I will say this. It was the worst watched Golden Globes show ever in terms of audience.
I don't watch the Golden Globes.
I don't watch
any of those awards. I really don't.
As an actor, I used to watch them all the time, especially the Academy Awards, because I get to vote. Right. As a Screen Actors Guild member, I get to vote on the Academy Awards. So I like doing that. The Golden Globes, not so much, but yeah, they've gone downhill. It's just they can't just do a show about actors in the movies. They always have to throw all that other stuff in there, which turns people away.
Right.
And that's why their ratings are so low.
I would imagine.
People go to work, hard day's work. They come home. They want to go see a movie to escape their dreary lives or whatever. And then the next thing you know, they're talking all this crap, the stuff that they don't want to even see or hear about.
Right. The criticism aspect, right. Being the critics of a movie and that whole deal, to me, sometimes, man, is really unfair. And that whole deal, and especially in the categories that they put it in that whole deal. I think it's unfair sometimes to the actors in that whole deal and what they're trying to portray as an actor, in their movies and that whole deal. And I don't think they really get a lot of the actors don't get the credit that they need to get by those folks that are being the critics.
Well, some of these characters, let's just say Avatar already, this new Avatar. They're already going woke, saying the lead character should have been. Wait a second, it's an animated figure. Mm-hmm. They said, well, she shouldn't have been white, she should have been black, whatever it was. I'm thinking, well, wait a second, it's animation,
right?
Come on, man.
Right. So I've always had trouble figuring this part out. Okay. Titanic, I'll just use that as an example because it's the first one that comes to mind, wins Best Picture.
Okay.
I don't remember who won Best Actor or Actress in that same year. But how does a movie win for Best Movie of the Year, but yet the Best Actor and Actress are from another product? How does the best movie not have the best director get the award at the same time? How does that happen?
You know what I think? I think it's all politics. It's about who likes you and who don't like you. And that's in a lot of ways. That's the way it is in football for Pro Bowl and All Pro and that whole deal. It's whether you're in the New York market or the West Coast market or the Midwest market. And if they don't get a chance to see you, then all of a sudden you're the favorite.
Right.
And that's also big talk around the baseball voting for the All-Star game. The smaller markets don't have the same exposure.
That's right.
And they don't get their players voted in on the first ballot all the time because of exactly what you're talking about.
See, we're not supposed to be talking about voting and politics.
Well,
here
baseball.
We go. I know. Baseball. Football, baseball, the Globe Awards, Golden Globe. Uh-oh.
Carr got voted out of his position, didn't he? But anyway.
Oh, come on.
702-992-3207. Give us a call. All right, we have a lot of stuff to talk about. We also are going to introduce a new segment towards the end of the show called
America Speaks.
That's right. And what we're going to do is I just saw his name pop up in there. G-Man is going to talk about the fact that there are things out there, stories that have comments that people are posting on, right?
Right. At the end of each show, maybe the last segment, we're going to discuss stuff. It's not going to necessarily be our opinion. It's going to be you. America Speaks. It's going to be your opinion. I've been called every name in the book when I talk about certain issues. So I found stuff on the phone where regular Americans like you get to comment on what particular subject we're going to discuss.
And in the meantime, if there are topics and things that you'd like to hear us talk about, go to our Facebook page, which some of you are watching right now. Feel free to just post, say, hey, we'd like to hear you guys talk about this, or you guys think that we're totally off our rockers about something. Put it on there. We'll be happy to address it. Or you can also email us at theroundtablelv@gmail.com. If we like your comment, we'll share it on the air. But anyway.
Well, even if we don't like it, and that's the thing too, even if we disagree or agree with the comment, the whole point is to let America speak and let their opinions be known.
Absolutely.
All right, Mr. Rick.
Yes, sir.
All right. Pick one of the topics, any direction you want to go. I'm going to give you the ball.
Well, I'm a big thing as far as our nurses and our doctors and our healthcare system is concerned.
Right.
Because once again, I had leukemia and that whole deal, and I had to have some of the best doctors to help me out as far as getting myself into remission, and they've helped me do that. But another thing about me is that I'm a science buff. I love science because it teaches me about my body. It teaches me about the planet. It teaches me about the things that make up this world and that whole deal. So when it comes to teachers, when it comes to doctors, when it comes to nurses, I'm totally in their corner.
Absolutely. By the way, speaking of medical, and I'll get to you in a second because I was remiss in doing this at the beginning of the show. Today's show is being brought to you by our good friends down at Planet Harvest Health. PlanetHarvestHealth.com for all your CBD needs for seasons. We have some of the stuff here on the table. As soon as our producer can change the channel, my mouth's moving, you're showing Rick, that's okay. Ventriloquist mode. No.
Yeah.
So we want to thank Billy. We want to thank James down in Texas for supporting the show. Planet Harvest Health, PlanetHarvestHealth.com. Okay, I'm sorry, George, your comments on what Rick was talking about regarding the nurses and health and all that.
Well, like he said, he appreciates it there at the corner. My mom was a doctor. I grew up around all her friends who were in the medical field. So I grew up in an era where you appreciated what they did. And I still do that today with them, regardless of what might be going on. Where are you going to go to get medical advice? You have to trust your doctor and the nurses that are there to give you the information that you need to get better if you're sick or ill.
And you know what, Aaron, here's the thing about it. I don't know about a lot of folks as far as their education is concerned and that whole deal. Like I said, for me, that was one of my things I really, really enjoyed in school at the University of Minnesota. And so I look at doctors as giving me a chance, giving me an opportunity if I'm ill and if I'm not well. They give me a chance, or my daughter or my son, if they break an arm out playing sports, it gives them a chance, man, to get themselves well and healed up again in that whole deal. But remember this, United States, as far as education is concerned, as far as science is concerned, we are 27th in the world. And as far as math is concerned, we are 28th in the world.
When you
I'm
say
surprised
that
it's
number,
that high, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Really? You're when you say that number, I'm like,
I work in the school district. I see what's going on in elementary level when it comes to skills. So that's why when you tell me it's 28, I'm surprised we're that high on the list.
Right, I got you.
Because our school district, we're at the bottom of the country. So
I knew that Nevada was
right.
or Las
so,
Vegas was
so
the
I'm seeing
bottom.
it. So I realize it's an average across the country with what you're sharing. But I'm seeing what's going on just in elementary level.
And it's been that way since I've lived here 30 years. Yeah. Why is it not changing with all this money in the city?
Well, no. It's money in the city. It's not enough money going to state budgets from the city. The casinos have a strong hold.
But they keep building schools. Every year there's 5 or 6, 7, 8 new schools being built.
How about the marijuana tax?
Yeah,
Ever since marijuana came,
where's that going?
I've been screaming at the top of the mountain that this state needs a forensic audit done by people outside of the state to track every penny and dollar. Matter of fact, our producer, he and I worked together at Vegas All Net Radio. We owned the station together as that industry was beginning to open up. You're talking tens of millions of dollars just in that first year alone. And you know who I blame why it's not in the school district? Former Governor Sandoval. Why? Because at the end of his term, he took all that money, put it into the general rainy day fund. You know why? To restructure the spaghetti bowl.
Right.
Not one, and it has never been changed since. Now, if we had that money, the school district would not have been $52 million in the hole last year.
Well, I don't understand why he would do that or any other government. I get maybe you put some of it to build better roads and this and that.
But by law, that tax for the marijuana was not to go any place else but to education.
That's right.
Why? How can they possibly get away with it?
That's the question I'd love to know. Yeah.
Thing about it, the audit, you have to have an audit, you have to have oversight, and you have to be transparent. And obviously, these guys aren't transparent in what they're doing in that whole deal. They're hiding it from you, Joe Public, in that whole deal of what your money, and whether you indulge or not, that money is still going to the wrong places. It should be going to our education. Because once again, when we talk about, like I said, when we talk about our educational system and that whole deal, I look at our teachers. Our teachers are not getting paid. When we talk about our nurses, they don't get paid enough, man. They put in hours after hour after hour. And then what they have to do is go home to their own families.
But you see all this recruitment nationwide for, we need nurses in Las Vegas. We're willing to pay you such and such for your housing, for your this and that. But where's the money? And these people keep coming here to go into the medical field, and they don't get any type of support.
Let's say you're a nurse in another part of the country, okay? First of all, doctors are leaving our state because of malpractice insurance costs.
That's right.
Okay. So if you're a nurse somewhere else and you realize that doctors are, thank you, Billy. I'm going to get to your comment here. I just saw it pop up on the screen. Bill Knott in Fort Lauderdale, thank you for watching. If you're a nurse elsewhere and you're reading stories that doctors are leaving because of malpractice issues here, nurses now I'm talking about, why would you want to come here when the doctors are bolting? Right. I just asked that rhetorically. Then we add in all the COVID and all the overworked hours. Now, here's the other thing. You have to be ready. You have to be licensed. You have to be prepared to already work here. And some people just can't pick up like that. Plus, you have all the tech schools for nursing assistants and phlebotomists and all of that. That takes at least a 2-year program.
Right.
Okay. So the money now, and I could talk about this from the educational side, teachers were being wooed here with a $10,000 signing bonus for new teachers to come here. When we moved here 25 years ago, my wife had to give a commitment of a minimum 3 years.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry, 1 year at the school she was at. Now it's 3 years. The principals don't want to keep training and putting money into teachers that may bolt and leave.
So the $10,000 that they offered, was it just added to your paycheck, $100 a week for the next 10 months?
It was a
separate, they give you 10 grand.
It was a separate bonus that maybe they paid it out quarterly, $2,500 or whatever, but it wasn't $100 a week, because a lot of that money, guess what, was going to housing to help people buy a house here.
Cheap bastards.
So where's the money coming from? And you're right by asking that question. It's supposedly coming from whatever monies are coming in that the casinos are allowing to be paid to go up to the state.
That's right.
Now, what about the dispensaries and the marijuana businesses?
It's not.
What do they think? Well, the money that we're bringing in, why is it going to what they said?
Well, it's out of their hands. They have nothing to say about it, because once they get that tax money belongs to the state. It's theirs, and they have to pay that every month or every year at the end of the year, and make sure, man, that they can get their license again in that whole deal. That money actually belongs to the state. Damn. Once you sell that bud or whatever, marijuana or whatever, once you get that tax money belongs to the state.
Damn, it's cheaper to go to the corner to buy this shit.
So Billy from let's see, Billy, I was just going to say, let me read what Billy's message was that came in. Can you pop Billy's first question up there on the screen rather than me looking down? When I was in the hospital, coma, amputation, sepsis, organ failure, most of the specialists were amazing. Her general practitioner doctor kept telling her mom to get me a plot and a coffin. My mama got escorted out of the ICU several times, and now here she is. So so Billy, one of the owners of Planet Harvest Health. Right. She is an amputee.
Right.
And that's what she's referring to. Now, Chief, God bless his soul, we talk about education periodically on Thoughts Count Anywhere, and it's a hot topic that he and I talk about. He says, and I'll quote him, I have no problem with this. Chief says, because they're crooks. I mean, politicians.
Right.
Okay. And then Billy also says about your comments, you are so right, Rick Upchurch, they don't get near the pay they deserve. I believe all of our civil servants, all of them, doctors, not doctors, cops, firemen, teachers, they're not paid enough across the board.
No,
now,
they're not.
People move here. Hey, one of the biggest draws here, we don't have state taxes. So a lot of people in the
That's right.
states say, well, guess what? You're getting an automatic raise because if you're coming from New York or New Jersey where you're taxed up the wahooly, or if you live in Jersey, work in New York, guess what? You're double taxed.
Right.
Then you come out here, oh, look at all that money you're saving in taxes
Yeah.
and the property taxes. There is credibility to that.
Sure.
But that money that's being saved, you're not really seeing.
Right. I was just going to say,
and
you're
it's
not
money
seeing
to pay
it.
the bills, right?
That's right. And also what's happening is that when you go to buy your license, your driver's license, or get your tags for your license, they're up the wazoo. Back when I was back in Colorado, I mean, when I came here, it went up half of what I was paying in Colorado, because once again, you're already paying taxes there in Colorado. They don't charge you as much for your tags.
Right.
Here, I was like,
Crazy.
oh my goodness, look at what. So, and living in Florida was the same way.
Yep.
Because they have no tax. So they find other ways
That's right,
to
Jim.
make up the difference.
I want to become a crook. You heard it first.
Well, you almost
On the
became
round
president.
table. That's true.
For what it's worth.
I would have legalized everything.
Anyway, we're going to step aside for our first break of the show. It's been a heated discussion about education. I love all the comments coming in. Please keep them coming in. If you want to give us a call, we really would like to test the phone system because it's brand new. We have no flipping idea if it really even works. 702-992-3207. With that, you're watching the Roundtable. You know what? We will be right back.
Anxiety, depression, PTSD, ADHD, pain, inflammation, dealing with mental or physical health issues, or know someone who is? Relax, refresh, recover, revive. Natural health alternatives using hemp-derived CBD and other cannabinoids found in hemp are increasingly becoming more effective in managing various symptoms that affect your body, state of mind, and daily life. Planet Harvest Health's mission is to help those looking for natural, new, and better solutions.
Are you looking for someone to provide training to your staff? Do you need a motivational speaker about how to handle change? Do you have an upcoming event that needs an MC to handle those responsibilities? Well, look no further than longtime Las Vegas radio personality Aaron Phillips. I am local to Las Vegas and I can blend my talents with any audience. For more information, please visit www.aaronphillipsvoice.com and book me for your next event or training needs.
You can't parent anymore, though.
Hey, welcome back to the Roundtable. We were just talking about during the break the old
Spanking.
saying that our parents used to say, you're crying? Let me give you a real reason to cry. That's right.
Yep.
Billy, we think if you're coming, if you have to deal with children or bodily fluids, you should get paid very well, as well as keeping a flask under the desk that nobody knows about. But anyway, I
Right.
digress.
And the thing
They do
about
that.
it,
I think they do that.
and you know the thing about it,
Not me, though, CCSD.
teachers have to go home to their own families.
Absolutely.
Man. After a stressful day of dealing with kids and that aren't yours, but they are yours,
Right.
Right,
Right.
because they're your responsibility in your room in that ordeal. But then you have to go home to your own family with your own issues, with your own problems in that ordeal. And I think that's the thing that a lot of folks don't really give our teachers credit for, that they have to go home with their own junk.
Parents are different now. I mean, you see parents, and again, you shouldn't judge by the way they look now, but I don't remember my mom having a pierced nose and pink hair and get your ass back in
That
here.
was the fun
It
they
was
had in the
never,
bedroom.
you know, right. It was never that way. Today's parents are kids themselves.
Right.
They're having kids at 18, 19, 20. They haven't even lived their own life yet or got started yet.
And that's a
And
great
they're
point.
having kids.
Kids are having kids.
It's generational.
Right. Kids are having kids, and that definitely is something. I want to keep staying on the education system.
Sure.
But let's go further. The big news from last week was what happened in Virginia. A 6-year-old purposely took a gun into school and shot their teacher for reasons, from what I believe, because the teacher held the student accountable.
Right.
Okay, now, the gun was legally registered from the parents. They had the right to own the gun. The question, of course, is why was the gun not locked up? Where was it? How'd the kid get it? And for that matter, how does a 6-year-old strong enough to pull a flipping trigger on a
Right.
gun when my age at 58, when I go visit a shooting range for the hell of it, I could barely pull a trigger
Right.
on some of these weapons.
Now, from what I understand, the parents are fairly cooperative about all of it, and they're trying to work this out.
They're going to be cooperative, but the damage has already been done.
Right.
Look, my grandfather always told us this because he had a bunch of shotguns because he liked to hunt and that old deal. And he would sit those there in the corner. And he says, if every one of y'all touch them guns over there, you're going to pay hell.
Right.
It's
you
not
didn't touch
your
it.
responsibility to mess with that gun because you're not responsible. Until you're responsible and I teach you how to deal with a gun and be responsible with it, you don't even touch it.
And
that's the way it was in our home.
And it wasn't locked up, but you weren't going to touch it.
No.
I remember in military school, we were on a rifle team, or some public schools back in the 70s. Kids would in rural towns would drive to school with a pickup truck and they have the gun rack in the back. And then you'd have the principal coming out and they would compare guns and show each other what difference. Nowadays,
They
you can't
compare guns, Rick.
Yeah, they compare guns.
Compare guns.
Yeah, I got
Teacher and the student. Hey, teacher, hey, coach, I want to go hunting with this thing. Nowadays, you bring a gun to school and it's all over. You don't even have a chance to explain why. In today's world, you can't have them anyway there at schools. Today's kids
Yeah,
are
it's not allowed on ground anywhere.
So what has happened?
trigger
What has
happy.
happened between the time that we went to school and now?
I'll give you
Where
two
things
words.
have deteriorated, where now the teachers, man, are being held hostage.
I'll tell you what it is. 2 words. We talk about it all the time, social media, because everybody wants to document what they're doing in life. And more things are getting riskier and riskier to document on TikTok, all these challenges and the Tide Pod eats and everything else. So what are they going to do to up each other? Let's go beat somebody up in the back corner and film it just for the
And
hell
we'll
of it.
tape
And
it,
so on.
right.
And we'll tape it.
Yeah, or whatever. Yeah. Next thing you know, it's on the internet.
Right.
Nobody's trying to save
And
the
10
kid.
million views and everything else.
What about
Right,
the young
right.
woman that was on vacation in Mexico and her friend beat her to death in the hotel room in Cancun? And some guy was filming it. Hey, man, maybe you shouldn't be. Maybe you shouldn't be.
What
Really,
about the
whatever
video,
it
that
was-
Waffle House fight that
Yeah,
took place?
right.
Well, although I think the incident, from what I read, actually took place a couple of years ago.
Right.
And for whatever the reason, that video finally surfaced. But everybody filming it, why are they not stepping in to
Just try to save.
Absolutely.
Again, it's action.
And-
how many hits can I get?
That's right.
And remember, in some instances, these folks have accounts.
Mhm.
And if you get X amount of hits, whether it's 1 million, whether it's 500,000, you start getting paid for it.
And if you step in, then they'll start beating your ass or whatever.
Chief
they're
says
gonna do.
it's called automatic weapons. That's another reason things have gotten out of hand. You just pull one trigger and all those bullets come out in a matter of seconds instead of reloading or whatever. But automatic
It's too
weapons
bad.
makes
You
things
don't
more
even have to
dangerous.
sweat to kill anybody anymore. You
Right.
used to, in the old days, before the gun, you had to beat somebody with a rock or a blunt instrument, sweat a little bit, get blood on you, like the Idaho murders. That guy
Oh,
worked.
yeah.
He worked for it. He worked for the kill. I mean, damn. These guys, you can shoot and kill somebody from a mile away
Right.
now with a high-powered rifle
Right.
and not even feel it or even have that. Oh, okay, it was my. You don't have any personal connection
Right.
to it.
But
But
no
we-
regret.
But
Right.
we've been desensitized.
Uh-huh.
Let's once again,
Mhm.
you have all the games, you have all the movies. Once again, also, when folks go out and shoot, if you take your son out or you take your daughter out in that whole deal, they might go out and shoot a rabbit or something or a bird in that whole deal. Guts are flying everywhere. Now they're desensitized to guts and gore and all that type of stuff because it's common.
I didn't even
it's just
see a
common.
rated R movie until I was 16 or 17.
I
Right.
thought I was hot
I
shit when I
never-
got into see Fiddler on the Roof when it was PGR at the time.
Right.
And that was Fiddler on the Roof, no less.
But are we being a little old fashioned? Are we being? Yes,
No.
I'm being. No,
Well-
I am.
Well, you
know
are, but
why?
it's not bad. It's not a bad thing.
No, because I'm still here.
Right.
I don't have a criminal record.
Oh, he's old fashioned. What do you mean by that when you say it? Oh, he's old. What is that? Is that a bad thing?
No, it's not a
You
bad
see all
thing.
these young kids. Oh, he's old fashioned. What does that mean when you say it the way you're saying it? Like it doesn't mean anything.
Well,
That's
you're
what-
not hip.
Well, that's what old fashioned is you went uphill both ways to and from school in the snow. That's old fashioned.
Well, we hear that stopped 50 years ago, I believe. But really, no,
I
it's
hear you.
crazy. I don't understand.
But here's the thing, like you just said, you're still here. I'm here. Our children that we brought up in this world are still here making the decisions and choices in their life that we as parents are proud of.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
End of story.
Yep.
When I watch the new show On Patrol Live now and I see these stories, I don't know if you guys, it's like Cops
Okay.
with Dan, the attorney what's his name? Dan Abrams.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
It's 3
Dan
hours
Abrams.
of live stuff. They have live cameras at like 10 different police precincts around the country.
Mhm.
Okay.
And they're live. So you watch what's going on. And I look at this stuff and I'm just shaking my head going, I can't believe if my kid did that, they'd have to deal with me as the worst judge in their life.
Right.
But we did what we did was right because we're still here. We don't have a criminal record. Our kids are blowing up the world doing the things that they want to do the right way. That's the old-fashioned part.
Well, the consequences. Remember, there was consequences
That's
for
right.
us. I remember, man. I remember the kids would be outside if I did something wrong. And, I did it at school, and I got home. After everybody got done with their homework and that, they could go outside and run around
until the lights went on.
Lights went on.
Right. And if I cut up in that whole deal, they said, Rick, you got to go in the room, man. And the window was sitting right there, and they're out there running and jumping, eating ice cream and jumping around. And I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
There's a consequence to me, to whatever I do outside of what they ask me.
Right.
And it was called what? Boundaries. You have to stay within the boundaries, man, in that whole deal. So that then there is accountability.
Well, I was just going to say, it's all about accountability and responsibility.
In today's world, the parents that are still good and still out there trying to raise their children right, you can't discipline them physically, or the kids got the speed dial to the social
If you're in the
service
right
system.
household where you're teaching discipline, you can swat your kid to make a point one time and you're not going to get called on knife
Shouldn't.
or from CPS or whatever.
There's a difference between spanking your child and punching him in the face.
And abuse, absolutely, in that whole deal. And the other thing, when a parent comes up to the school, and understand this, I tell people to understand this, the teachers spend more time with your children than you do.
That's right.
Right.
Because when you go to your job, that's your break from your children.
That's right.
That's your sanity. That's where you get into you and you say, man, for a minute, I don't have to deal with that child, but I know when I get home, I'm going to have to deal with them.
Absolutely. And Billy puts in here, and I think this is kind of along the lines of what we were just talking about. Parents want to be friends and not put the fear of repercussion into those impressionable little humans. But there is a way you can still be friends with your kids, but still be respected as their parents. That's the thing. Chief says, I've always said military and police are the only ones who need automatic weapons, not general public, in his opinion. Patrick Fraze, thank you for jumping in here, Patrick. Hello, gentlemen, and thank you for your respected conversation on the roundtable. Congrats to Aaron and the guys. So listen, we just want to talk about this stuff. I don't think we've really ever gotten into topics like this as deep in conversation as we have, but there's been so much that's going on in this crazy world that we're talking about it in a way of our opinions and our feelings and everything else.
Not political. We're not political on this. That's totally
We're not talking about changing gun laws.
No,
and all that.
None of that.
Right.
Just the way we were raised, raised.
That's right.
And like we said before, we've done pretty doggone well with our lives and that whole deal, as far as how our parents said to be respectable and be respected in the community.
That's right. Respect.
Bottom line.
And even when I was a kid and you knew you were going to do something, you tell your friend, oh, my mom's going to kill me if I do that.
Right.
That was a saying. It wasn't like she was going to kill me, but you were, oh man, she's going to fucking shoot me if I don't.
You put on new jeans and you're playing tackle football, you get those grass stains on those first
jeans.
You don't want to go home to mom like that.
Or your tennis shoes. Remember, you have brand new tennis shoes and the kid goes by and steps on them. And next thing you know, you're like, oh, snap. I can't go home with these, man. They're going to beat the crap out of me because I got them dirty.
That's right. You know? Absolutely. So the philosophies have changed because of all the reasons we've talked about. But here's the thing, folks. We still control what goes on in our four walls in our house.
Sure.
Right.
That's
now,
right.
Would somebody be nowadays, if you have your child who's acting up, like we talked about an example before it went on the air, a kid who's down in an aisle in the supermarket, are you going to pick up the kid and spank? Because if you spank them and do all that stuff, people's video cameras are going to be out filming.
Right.
And then you're going to be horrible. 3 million hits. The ladies are crazy. She beat her kid.
Yeah. I swatted my kids once on their backside when they were young because I swore growing up the Bill Cosby show was the in show and how to talk to the kids and how to be a parent without that. And I swore early on in our marriage that I said I would never do the hitting with my kids. Well, something got out of hand at my house. I gave just a quick backhand to one of my kids. I went the rest of that day sick to my stomach that I broke my own promise to myself. Never laid a hand on my kids ever. Now, I would scream and I would yell. I'd really get pissed.
But again, it's okay to spank. You take it. I went to a military school, and if you messed up, they had a paddle and they had drilled holes in it. And you were, depending on the infraction, you might get 15 swats. They would give you 5 a day. So you had to go, you got the 5, and then you had to go to bed that night knowing, oh, God, I got to go back down to the commandant's office at 4 o'clock to already get 5 more. That was enough to make you decide, I'm not going to mess up again. It was more of a mental thing. Yeah, it hurt, but it was more the fact that you made them go to that level
Right.
to where they had to do what they had to do.
Mhm.
And it was okay then. The parents wanted that to happen, when you went to a private school like that.
But Aaron,
It's okay to discipline.
but Aaron, how did this young man or this child
6 years old.
take a gun
Yeah, I
out
get
of the
that.
house and carry it to school?
It was in the backpack, but the thing is where was it in the house?
In the house.
That the kid had the access to get it so easily.
Absolutely.
Well, like you said, pulling the trigger. How the hell?
I mean, the only I can think of is, when you have a toy gun as a kid, you're putting both fingers in there, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I still had, you can't pull a trigger sometimes with one finger. That's the only thing, because the kickback of a gun.
So what?
For a
So
6-year-old.
so has he been shooting the gun?
Well,
have they been taking him out to
That's-
understand
yep.
how to use a
How to
gun at
handle
6
it.
at
Absolutely.
6 years
At
old?
6? I
That's
don't know,
listen,
man.
we have friends when my wife and I were just even considering protecting ourselves. A friend of ours, one of her former school teachers, her husband was a Metro police officer. They invited us to their house. He showed us weapons, showed us what he has, just kind of talked us through it, touch
Right.
him, feel him. And guess what? Showed us kid-size weapons, rifles. Like little
Yeah.
pop guns, like we used to carry that had the little corn on it with the
Right,
string on the end,
right.
right? Okay. So yes, and their kids were elementary school students. And they were being properly taught by their dad
Right.
and their mom, who was all to how to handle it. So yes, that is a possibility. And we have to still keep that out there, that the kid is not insane. We have to think maybe the parents did go to a range and teach the child to protect themselves.
Yeah, still
maybe.
6 is a little young. 8, 9, 10, maybe. But
You're right. But we're not in that household,
Right,
right?
right.
So maybe there's a slight chance that this child was being taught how to handle a gun. But it goes back to, how the hell did he get it in the first place?
Yeah.
the
and-
mindset of him. Well,
Yeah,
I'm
there you go.
going to go kill
Yes.
a teacher or a
Yep,
shooter.
that's
at
right.
6.
That's right. At 6 years
The
old. bro.
mindset. What was he watching?
Yes.
Where did
Well,
he get the
that's the
idea?
other thing.
Yes.
Fortnite, Minecraft, all these video games that are out
Okay,
there with
yeah.
the shooting and killing.
Yes.
That's all they're playing every day.
Unbelievable.
That's
Our
all
so-
they're playing.
And our society makes money on that.
Oh, absolutely.
Big time money, and they don't care.
We thought Pong
They
was,
could-
we thought Pong was a hot shit when video
Right.
games, boop, and it would take 30 minutes to get, and you could
Now-
order a pizza.
That's right.
Get
the,
it delivered.
the shooting games I get, I've played some with my wife's grandson, and I was shooting all the ones. I'm shooting the teachers and the nurses, and the innocent bystander going across the street.
And we
I
wonder why it's permeating in our society. As he's saying this.
was. I mean, it was a game, and he's 13 or 14, so we were laughing. It's
Sure,
a game,
sure.
and you're doing that kind of stuff, and it's just, if you're in the right environment, really, it's a game.
It has to
People
be a
that know they
right,
can
controlled
separate it.
environment.
Absolute controlled environment.
No,
is
I
it.
never would, video games. I'm more of a sports guy, mad and crazy
Right.
on a video game. I'm not big on the spy games and the shooting once in a while, but yeah, no, I'm more of
I
a,
had the Nintendo game, where it came with that little plastic gun, and it was like a bird thing that you were able to shoot.
Yeah.
That was it.
yeah.
That was the extent of my
It
shooting
didn't
games,
make you
right?
decide you want to go out and start shooting people.
Unless you hated birds.
right.
Anyway.
Well, birds is one thing.
Anyway, listen, we're going to step aside early for our last break because we still have so much to do in 20, 25 minutes. I'm sure our producer will give us 5 minutes longer
Yeah.
because of the tech problems at the
Yeah.
start. So, first time he didn't give us the other thing. So, you are watching the Roundtable with the G-Man with Rick. I'm Aaron. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
All right.
Anxiety, depression, PTSD, ADHD, pain, inflammation, dealing with mental or physical health issues, or know someone who is? Relax, refresh, recover, revive. Natural health alternatives using hemp-derived CBD and other cannabinoids found in hemp are increasingly becoming more effective in managing various symptoms that affect your body, state of mind, and daily life. Planet Harvest Health's mission is to help those looking for natural, new, and better solutions for a healthier way of life, specializing in small batch, handcrafted alternatives, providing higher quality and a cost-effective product. Go to planetharvesthealth.com for more information and education on how we can help you.
I'm sorry. Oh, that's okay.
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaron Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, Stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
One. Hi there. Welcome back to the Roundtable. By the way, we do have a solution for all you people that are all stressed out in life. Number one, hey, Planet Harvest Health. There you are right here, planetharvesthealth.com for gummies, for salves, anything that'll calm you down so you don't have to have your 6-year-old child take the gun out of your house. Also, too, if you love to cook, guess what? It's in their seasonings as well. Imagine grandma coming over to the house and you give her some CBD seasoning. Woo-hoo! Also, too, if you like coffee. I feel like I'm doing a QVC
that was
channel.
another.
I didn't have, Billy, I don't have any more coffee left. But if you like coffee, you can get it also infused with CBD, planetharvesthealth.com. Now, George is going to take 30 seconds to talk about how True IQ can help you lose weight.
As you can see, which
Really?
I can't
With the
see,
jacket?
I weighed 285 pounds a
Yes,
few
I'll
months
do it.
ago. There, hey, hold my first phone. What do I look at?
Your camera's over there, sir.
Okay, there you are. Hi, guys.
For a guy who's been on TV before, you got
Well, no, I just haven't seen a close-up yet. This was my
Oh my
first time ever seeing. Okay, now, yeah, I lost all this weight over the last 8 months. I lost 45 pounds off of micro. No jittering, no sweating. It's not like doing crystal meth, none of that. You take 2 in the morning and you eat maybe once, twice a day, smaller meals, and you work hard and it'll just fall off. I never believed in any of these types of products until I started this. So now I'm down 40 pounds. It works. Also the CBD. It's a little rubber
vial.
Thank you.
But where can people get this in the meantime?
You can go to trueiqglobal.com and then type in 20316. That's where you can get it. And I tell you, it's good products. I'm not one of these guys that likes to support products or hype stuff, but it worked for the first time in my life.
And Rick, where can people, you have a secret. How can people be stress-free and make money?
Oh, heck yeah, man. Always. You know, if you're not making money, then you're just, man, missing out on the train. That's all I can tell you, man. No doubt about it. But once again, we have a secret. We have a secret products. They are all vegan. Most of our products, man, have sea salt and minerals, man, from the Dead Sea. And that deal where people go and get their bodies healed up every year, over 1 million every year. So we have the secret to make sure that you're well, healthy skincare. It's not beauty care, it's skincare and health.
There is a difference.
And how can people learn more?
All they have to do is go to secret, SEACRET .direct,
It's not easy, is it?
or you go to rickupchurch.com and I'll hit you up.
Now, if worse comes to worse, you don't remember any of those links, guess what you can do right here on our Roundtable Facebook page? Guess what? Put a comment out there saying, hey, guys, I missed the information about such and such. Or in about a day or two, you can go to Roku, the Worldwide Digital Broadcasting TV Roku channel will be on there. You can also go to the WWDBTV YouTube channel, and you can stay right here under the videos tab and check out the show on the Roundtable. Is there any other platform that I've missed? I have no idea. There's so many.
Yeah.
Oh, well, but I'm giving the YouTube channel, but that's okay. If you want to learn more about all the shows that are here at WWDBTV, such as Aaron's Hour, Thoughts Count Anywhere, The Debt Lifeline, Kiwanis Connects, this show, there's the Tribune show, there's how many others? There's cybersecurity. There's so many doggone shows. WWDBTV.com. The web address is in the lower corner of your screen right now. If you're driving and listening to us on the app, please don't write it down as you're driving. WWDBTV.com. Check it out online. Okay. Woo, now that we got all that out of the way, we can go right to the top of the hour without stopping. Okay. Any final thoughts on all the initial conversation we've had? Otherwise, I'd like to kind of move on to something.
We can move on, but real quick, before all these products were invented, you just took a bunch of weed, threw it in the spaghetti sauce, and got grandma. She was feeling pretty good an hour later. That's what we. But now you don't have to do that.
By the way, you're 100% right, and I neglected to say on next week's show, we're going to actually delve a little deeper into the Planet Harvest Health products because Billy Ball will be joining us, or James Lucas, both of them husband and wife. They own the company. They'll talk about their products. George is going to talk a little more extensively about True IQ. Rick is going to talk a little more extensively about his product, The Secret. Maybe he'll finally tell us what the daggone secret is. And if time allows, you guys are seeing my commercial for my book. I'll take 5 minutes to talk about my health transition from 354 pounds to pre-pandemic of 215. But now COVID-19 has given me the COVID-20 that I'm working on getting back off. Anyway, so that's next week's show. A lot of information because we want to give everybody a great spotlight to talk about the things that we support and do. Okay. I know this is going to be near and dear to your guys' hearts. There's a little football going on this weekend.
Just a little.
Just a little. Now, I don't want to talk about the news like Derek Carr, although I would be interested in finding out from Rick first. Then I'll let you stew over Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Think about who's going to be the next head coach of the Denver Broncos, in your opinion.
Well, let me tell you, from myself, I think the number one candidate for me is Sean Payton. Sean Payton is a proven entity.
Mm-hmm.
He's done it. He had Drew Brees. He's won championships. He ran a wonderful ship down there in New Orleans for a long time. I think for about 10 years.
Yeah, and he's Bill Parcells' disciple.
And the disciple. So what he brings credibility into that locker room. He brings winning into that locker room. And so what are all these young ball players looking to? They're looking for a leader that can lead them, that has already been there, guys.
I am not going to disagree with you about Sean Payton, but they seem to be really focusing on Jim Harbaugh right now.
Ooh,
well, he has to get out of Michigan right now.
Yeah, and he did pretty good there the last couple of years.
But the investigations that are starting from some improprieties.
Oh, Denver, here I come.
You missed that last week?
No, I did miss that part.
Okay, so that's
well, then that might turn Denver away off a little bit too. But Jim Harbaugh's a good coach.
But for me, Denver's already gone through that. We've already gone through the Hackett's. We've already gone through the Vance Josephs. We've already gone through those. Why are we going to repeat the same thing and get the same answer?
Do you think Sean Payton, after his, I'm not going to say lengthy away from the game, 2-3 seasons maybe?
Not even that long, I don't think.
Yeah, how is he going to do the Super Bowl champ? He already did it. Can he do it again? I mean, it's been done before where coaches come back after a hiatus and do it.
Well, I'm like a player. If I get an opportunity like Von Miller to leave and go to a Los Angeles Rams and I win a championship there, man, that tells me that I'm pretty doggone good in helping and making things better. So I would think that you would want a Sean Payton to bring those things to the Denver Broncos and that he's already done. And the players, like I said, for me, when they brought in Red Miller, I didn't know what to expect from Red Miller because he was a rookie coach, never had been a head coach in that whole deal. But what he brought was stability.
You went to the Super Bowl with him.
We went to the Super Bowl with him the first year. They brought stability, and I think that's what Sean Payton would bring to the Bronco organization.
And they also have the money now. The Broncos have a lot.
But we don't have the draft choices. That's the only thing.
Correct.
We've given away all of our draft choices because of Russell Wilson and that whole deal. So
30 seconds. Who's your next quarterback for the Raiders, in your opinion?
It would make sense money-wise. Again, I'm not big on any of these Patriots West, they're calling us Garoppolo, Stidham, Brady, for Christ's sake. Really, would Al Davis want Tom Brady here
Not
after
45,
the fumble?
46.
No, especially at that age. Do they want him to win the Super Bowl and give a chance for Brady to do it the next 1 or 2 years? Or do you want to work with somebody like Garoppolo that knows the system with McDaniels and Stidham's already? He did okay.
The only thing is that he has not been able to stay on the field the last couple of years.
Right, and that's why I'm still soured about the Derek Carr thing. They wouldn't even let him give his farewell. He had to do it on Instagram. They wouldn't even let him do it at the training facility and have everybody there and crying. And thanks for everything.
Like that should not happen during the season anyway.
Right. Absolutely. But what it was, if he played up to the last game,
they wouldn't have him get hurt.
Yeah, they would have
$35 million.
Yeah, and so it all boils down to the almighty dollar when it comes to that game.
I have a Raiders. $500,000 a year. Give me full health benefits. I will take the job at 61. I will be the quarterback. Yes, I'm ready. You know what a quarterback's job is to do?
Not get killed?
Well, not
you can't move.
It's not to run. Right. You're not supposed to run. You're supposed to throw the ball, or you're supposed to hand it off.
Yeah, you stay healthy in the pocket.
Period.
So your job is to stay within that pocket.
You don't run.
Joe Theismann was not healthy in the pocket when LT got him.
No, give me health insurance and I'm good.
Billy Ball says to your point about Peyton, stability and those pointy lips.
Yeah.
All right, so you didn't give me a quarterback. Give me a quarterback right now.
Jim Garoppolo. That's
Jimmy
the cheap
Garoppolo.
way out.
Okay. You ready to pick some games? Now, I want to remind everybody that our selections, thoughts, and opinions are simply those of ours. We're not intended for gambling. We don't want you to bet on anything based on
No.
these
You have
are
to
simply-
give a disclaimer on us picking a
Absolutely.
team.
And if you win, man,
He
we
said-
get half.
No shit. Forget the disclaimer if you guys win.
Yeah.
That is very true. So the disclaimer is we're just doing this for fun and entertainment.
The fact that you have to even say that to these people
Well,
out there.
listen, you
I
know,
love you,
I
America. but come on.
CYA, bro.
That's
CYA.
right. I'm not interested in getting any calls. And
No.
You told me the Jags were going to win it all.
CYA.
Although they're
CYA.
going to beat San Diego.
Okay, well, let's get
Sorry,
there
okay,
first.
go
That's all right. So this weekend, Saturday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern time, the Seahawks taking on the 49ers. Give me a pick. I don't want points or anything.
49ers.
49ers.
Yeah.
Rick.
49ers.
49ers. I'm going to go 49ers as well. My G-men visiting Minnesota, 4:30 p.m. on Sunday, Eastern time on Fox. You know where I'm going because I think they can beat them.
Well, they
They
can.
lost on a 61-yard
What's Minnesota's
field goal.
record?
Well, they're 13-4.
They're the worst 13-4 team ever.
And the biggest.
I think the Giants can win that game.
So are they? Yes or no? Give
I'm
me a
going to go
pick.
with the Giants.
Okay.
Kirk Cousins. You know, I'm a Minnesota guy. You know, I went to the University of Minnesota and that whole deal, and
Mhm.
I love the Vikings with Chuck Foreman and
Oh, the old school.
Tarkenton
Oh,
and all
yeah,
those
yeah.
guys, the Purple People Eaters and that whole
Purple
deal,
Sandy
man.
White.
And this year, man, they're playing really well. I mean, there's been a few games they'd had some hiccups in that old. And the only reason they had hiccups is when Kirk Cousins
Had a bad
doesn't
day.
play well.
Right.
I have a
And-
stat for you that'll blow your mind when you're done.
Yeah, and the thing about it, if they're at home, I would hope that he would play well against the G-men coming up there to Minnesota and that whole deal at home, right?
Mhm.
So I'm going with the Minnesota Vikings. I think the Minnesota Vikings has enough to win that game there in Minnesota.
Thank you, Billy. Billy's in my corner about the Giants. So here's a stat I saw this morning on ESPN. ESPN. For
Oh,
those
I
who
was
don't
going to say Espen. What the fuck's Espen? Espen. Okay, yes.
So Minnesota's the first team in NFL history at 13-4 to have a minus point differential in their games. They finished -3, if I remember, overall score for the year. The first team with that many wins and be negative in point
Right.
differential.
Right.
Okay. Tells you how many close games they've been in.
Yes.
Very
As have
close.
the Giants.
Yeah.
Giants been in close games. And I think the last I saw it was a 3-point number.
Yes.
Giants were getting 3. I think that's about right because they got beat by a field goal. Now they're going to cover that field goal. So that's that game. Monday night, Cowboys, Buccaneers.
Well, I'm not a fan of either team. You can't count out Tom Brady. You just can't. But yeah, and Dak Prescott, as soon as he throws 30, 40 times, there's going to be 2 or 3 interceptions involved. I'm going to go with the Bucs. You
right.
can't count Tom Brady out. You just can't.
Mr. Rick?
You know, again, when you talk about Tom Brady, the GOAT, truly the GOAT, man, of football and that whole deal, you can never, ever count him out. Their defense
You can't.
is starting to play real well now. And defense in these type of games, these championship games, man, defense wins what?
Championships.
And
You
all
got it.
points do is get you what? People in the seats.
That's
and
it.
that whole deal. I'm going to go with the Bucs. I'm going
Yeah,
with
me
Tom
too.
Brady as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have
We're
to.
all in agreement with that one as well. Only because how much I dislike the Cowboys. Sorry, Cowboys.
Yeah, they're
Me
one of my
too.
least favorite.
Me too.
So, okay, let's go. Now, that was the
Broncos,
NFC side over the weekend. Let us just
Just more games, right?
yeah, AFC side. That was
Yeah.
just the NFC.
Okay.
AFC side. Sunday, the Dolphins visit Buffalo.
Yeah, goodbye.
Buffalo. I mean, we don't even have to spend a whole lot of time in this, do we?
No,
Buffalo.
Buffalo. Yeah.
Yes.
Destiny.
Because Tua's not playing. Aside from the Destiny thing. By the way, congratulations to DeMar for being
baby.
released from the hospital
Yes.
earlier this week as
He's
well.
been
Yes.
totally 100%. He could
Congratulations.
play again.
Well,
That's what they're
Congratulations.
saying.
Yes, absolutely. I hope he does next year or the year after
Congratulations
that.
to him,
So,
man.
Oh, and in the
absolutely.
NFL, they're going to pay. The Bills are paying him his full contract.
I saw that.
And I just want to say this, man, and having, played the game and
Sure.
that whole deal and been knocked out on that field and that whole deal, and those trainers and that whole deal and the medical staff come out, man, and get you together again. I just want to say congratulations and thank you for that medical staff that got out there immediately, man,
That's right.
and started ministering.
Especially the assistant trainer. They've
Right.
got his
Yeah,
full
the medical thing. So
You know,
God bless you guys, man.
one thing is they honored that entire staff before the game last week,
As
but they
they
were on
should.
the sideline.
Mhm.
I would have liked to seen them come out to the field to
Right.
be honored.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that's
80,000.
what I would have liked. But the assistant trainer for sure
Right.
was the one credited for saving his life.
Absolutely.
Okay, so straight across Buffalo, Baltimore visiting the Bungles. They're not Bungles anymore. I'm taking the Bengals.
Against who?
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
And
Oh yeah.
Jackson's not playing.
He's
Oh
not
yeah.
playing.
Oh yeah. I'm taking Cincinnati for sure.
I think
Yeah.
They're hot. They're the hottest team right
Oh,
now
Burrows,
in
of
the
course.
AFC.
I think personally Lamar won't be back with Baltimore after what's been going on.
And guess
Oh
what?
no, he's not going to be there.
Guess they're already talking about him here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, why not?
But he's also missed a lot of games also
Right,
the last 2
right.
years.
Well, you know what he has to do? He has to change his way of playing now.
Right.
He's older in that whole deal. And now as these guys, he get outside of the pocket in that whole deal, you're a runner now. And they're laying that lumber on him. And as you grow older, guys, what happens? Boy,
Yeah.
those injuries start.
Yeah,
start
especially
piling
for a
up.
quarterback. You're not supposed to run, and when they do, and it's exciting to see these quarterbacks take off and run, but it's not their job, and that's why they're only lasting 4 or 5 seasons.
give me a winner as we only have about 5 minutes left.
I'm
or
going to
so.
go with the Bengals. I don't care for either team. I think the Bengals
Okay.
had their shot last year. And they
I'm Bengals.
Okay.
For sure.
Here's the thing: how many quarterbacks in the last 20 years, so to give it a rough time period, were running quarterbacks that have won Super Bowls? Not too many.
Not too
Not
many
too
at
many.
all.
I agree.
Chargers visiting the Jaguars.
I think the Jags, Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence, there's something there with them if they can stay together for a few years.
The Jags and who?
San Diego.
And who?
I mean, LA.
And
Jesus.
who?
The Chargers.
The Chargers?
Yeah.
Not. I don't think so.
Jags.
Especially
I'm
visiting.
going with the Jags.
Yeah,
man.
I think
I like
so.
the Jags.
Me
I
too.
really do. I like their
Me
football
too.
team.
I
Yeah.
do.
Now, in that round, of course, the Eagles had a first-round bye, and the Chiefs got a first-round bye. So we'll talk about this next week in the next round based on the winners
Right.
from this week. Does anybody really care about the Golden Globe Awards? No, I didn't think
And I'm
so.
an actor and I don't care unless I get nominated.
Now, Chief put out there, and I would agree with this, during his era, because I know Chief is big on eras of sports.
Well, me too.
Best running quarterback, Fran Tarkenton.
Yeah, back in his era and his day, because
Yeah.
they were live. They were like, man, fish in the doggone sea. And remember what Deacon Jones said. Deacon Jones said, man, I like getting quarterbacks ripping their heads off, man, and spitting down their neck and that old deal. So understand the game is totally different.
It
And
is.
he was running for his life. Roman Gabriel
I was
was running for his
Yeah.
life in that old deal. But my guy was Randall Cunningham. I'm sorry.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a little
Randy-
later. But
Yeah, Randall Cunningham
He
absolutely.
was the first.
Yes. Running quarterback.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was very dynamic.
Steve Young.
Steve Young,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
He was
Without a
roughly at
doubt.
the same
Michael
time.
Vick,
Randall
Michael
was-
Vick.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think Michael Vick and Cunningham were about the same time. were they not?
revolutionized. No, Michael Vick was after.
Was a little
Cunningham,
later.
Yeah.
And of
Yeah.
course, Cunningham is a product of UNLV. Is he
Yes,
not?
Yes, he
right.
is.
So he's
Well,
a
he
look-
was. He could throw the ball, and Vic, not in the beginning. Vic later on was
and he killed my Giants.
was
for
a
that matter.
better passer later on. But
Mr. Cunningham.
Are
if
you
you're
okay?
watching.
Are you all right, man? Are you okay?
Remember that
Nobody
run-
killed me more than Joe Pisarcik in the fumble.
yeah,
okay?
yeah.
I know.
But you know
I
who
know.
Also against
You know-
the Eagles.
The Eagles.
And you know who
That's right.
returned that ball, right?
Yeah, Herm Edwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Herm picked it up and he was
He's
high
gone.
stepping. Yeah,
That's it.
but he can't coach.
Right.
He can't coach. I
Oh,
can tell you that.
here's another one. Chief says Doug Flutie, but he never really made it big in the NFL, though,
No,
And that's
so to
what-
speak,
When you're saying Doug Flutie, this is
as a
what
running quarterback.
Stetson Bennett reminds me of him, although Stetson can throw the football. I don't know if people talk about Stetson Bennett. Oh, he's too small. He's too this. He's a two-time college champion. He's a little wiser. He's what, 25?
Something like
I
that.
think he's got the goods to play in the NFL. They say 4th, 5th round.
Here's the thing with Flutie. Had he not made that pass to Phelan to win that game, would he be who? Would he have been
Probably
in the,
not.
in the spotlight that he was in after that?
Probably not, but he did well with the Chargers and the Bills. He did well. as a pro.
I don't know if well would be the thing because then he went up to Canada,
Canada,
and played,
right,
and he
right,
had
yeah.
actually, I think, a better career in Canada.
He won
before
like
coming
3 or
back here.
4 Grey Cups up there, didn't
Right, exactly. I think he had a better career there. He didn't do much for the Patriots when he came down
No.
Right,
from Canada. So
right.
he? But he was exciting to watch. There was some
as he
moments
was
where-
younger. But here's another name I wrote down about a running quarterback that I'm surprised neither one of you came up, whose career may have gotten cut short. Mr. Cam Newton.
Oh yeah,
And
Big
why
Cam.
did his career kid?
Because
Took
of
a
all the
beating.
running. He took a
Exactly.
beating because of all the running. So
And now he's not playing anywhere.
correct. He couldn't latch on to be a pocket passer to change his
And the game is still about passing the football,
Oh,
not a running
absolutely.
quarter. That's what your running back does, run. That's what you do. You hand it off.
Say
or you
the
throw it.
Giants' best thing to do to win is they need to run Saquon 35, 40 times.
You have to.
Absolutely.
Any running
Yeah,
back,
absolutely.
that's why Josh Jacobs got the running title
Right.
this year. Rushing, he ran 30 times a game.
Yeah, no
Absolutely.
doubt about it. And also when you look at Jalen Hurts and you look at the
And look at
kid from
him.
Chicago,
Out.
what's the kid from
Fields.
Chicago? Fields, Justin Fields in that ODL. Justin Fields ran for more yards this year than any quarterback has ever
Didn't he
done.
break
in that
1,000
ODL.
yards rushing?
He broke
Part of
a
it is he had to run for his life.
Right.
Yeah,
As a quarterback,
unfortunately.
that's not a great stat for a quarterback.
For a quarter, it's not. I mean, that means the offensive line is like, hey, man,
Terrible.
let's let water run through here. You
You
know,
know who I want as my next quarterback? Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, made become relevant.
over
From
there in San Francisco.
200 pick 200 and what 253 is the last pick
Yeah,
now, right?
yeah.
Mr. Irrelevant has now made himself
You
relevant.
think
for
the
Well, that's
49ers,
the Tom
you think
Brady.
the 49ers are going to get rid of him? I mean, who else?
It
they
all
got?
depends on what
What he
it's not
does.
Garoppolo, but it all,
Right.
and they have the other kid that got hurt before Garoppolo came in at the beginning of the year. I can't think of
So
his
where's
name.
Baker Mayfield going to sit now? Where's he going to go?
I think
if
the funny
Stafford-
thing is, why did the screen go dark up here, Mr. Producer?
No signal.
We lost the big screen here. If that matters for anything.
No.
Okay,
Baker Mayfield finished this year playing for who?
the Rams.
The Rams.
Right.
You know what? Stafford's career, who knows? He's saying he's going to come back, but his
Well,
shoulder and arm.
And he
I
got,
keep Mayfield because you know what? He
Right.
didn't do half bad in that system if McVay comes back.
I don't think he is, and I think Stafford's got the ring now, so it might change a
It
few
could.
things.
Well, Stafford's already come out saying he's not retiring.
Okay. Oh, he did.
He did, yeah. With that, ladies and gentlemen, our time is running out. The quarter is ticking down to the final
That's messed up.
We miss
fraction
you
of it.
guys,
That's right.
man.
So we come back next week. We're going to revisit our picks because I'm saving this piece of paper
Yes.
to see. Pretty much, we all picked the same. The only difference we had was in the Giants game. Rick went with Minnesota, which some would call that to be a homer pick, but
That's right.
that's see,
My dream Super Bowl, Giants Jags. That's what
that
I
would be interesting.
That's
At
what
one
I would
point,
like.
they were talking about Giants Jets too. All right, just a quick reminder. Next week's I think George almost fell off the chair. Next week's show, we're going to hear more from Planet Harvest Health about their products and how they can help.
Yes.
We're going to hear more from George about True IQ and what that has done for him with his weight loss and made
Yes.
him healthy. Rick's going to talk about the secret and how you can be beautiful inside. Don't
And
hurt
out.
yourself. How you can be beautiful inside and out. Me, I'm just going to be here to control the insanity. Maybe I'll get a few seconds to talk about my book. We'll see. I had the benefit of a commercial running for my
Oh,
book.
I need to post that WWE picture that I took the other day.
Oh no.
Oh,
Did
with
you
the
like
belt?
that?
No,
yeah.
no, no.
I
Did
did
you like
actually. It
that?
was pretty good.
Really?
If you've
Yeah,
seen
you
it,
didn't see it?
No,
don't worry
I just
about
showed
it.
it to you.
With that, Billy, I got your back. Thank you, Billy. Appreciate you. All right,
Billy.
with that,
All right,
everybody.
Billy.
Thank you for watching. Watch us next week, same time, same bat channel.
What
right here
Carol
at
Burnett do? She would like
WWDBTV.
this.
Carol Burnett, absolutely. Just don't do this, please.
Yeah.
Roundtable. We'll be back next week. Thanks for watching.
Right.